Get ready, because something truly profound has just shifted. On May 18th, 2025, a rare and powerful alignment took place in the cosmos. Most people didn't even realize it. There were no loud signs, no obvious announcements. But quietly, unmistakably, the energetic atmosphere around us began to change. Jupiter aligned with the lunar nodes, a deeply significant astrological event that hasn't happened since 1989. That's 36 years ago. And now, that powerful cycle is returning. The portal it once opened is open again. But this isn't just a repeat of history. This is a continuation, a sacred unfolding, a reawakening. That same mysterious current that moved through the collective back then is now awakening again, not just out there in the world, but deep inside you. A new chapter is beginning. An unseen hand is gently guiding you into a new reality. And this shift, subtle as it may seem, will ripple through your life for days, weeks, and even months to come. Because this is no ordinary transit. This is a call from your soul. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, wisdom, and divine timing, meeting the lunar nodes, which represent karmic direction and soul purpose, creates something rare, a moment when destiny becomes visible. It's like the universe quietly handed you a new map, a sacred compass. It's been trying to show you a path, one that leads you back to your truth, back to what you were always meant to do, feel, become. You may not have seen it clearly yet, but you felt it, that strange inner restlessness, the pull away from old patterns, people, or places that no longer align, the sudden awareness that your life is subtly shifting, even if you can't explain why. That's not coincidence. That's resonance. That's your spirit starting to remember. This isn't about astrology. This is about alignment, soul alignment. It's about your life moving closer to what it was always meant to be. And in that quiet shift, a message is emerging, soft but undeniable. Take space. Return to your inner world. Give yourself permission to pull back from the noise, from the distractions, from everything that takes you away from your true essence. This moment is asking you to come home to yourself, to listen, to slow down enough to hear the guidance that's been trying to reach you. But here's the truth. This solitude isn't meant to isolate you. It's not about pushing people away or hiding from the world. It's about becoming clear within yourself. So clear that when you do walk with others, it's from a place of truth, not confusion. It's from knowing who you are, not pretending to be what others need. Because here's the deeper layer. As much as this energy is calling you inward, it's also preparing you for something collective. We are not walking this road alone. We were never meant to. You and others, your soul family, your energetic companions, are being drawn together, magnetized by a shared vibration. And sometimes, that magnetism begins in silence, in solitude, in transformation. You're being invited to return to yourself so that you can meet others from that truer place, so that the ones who are meant to walk with you can find you, not the version of you that was lost in survival, but the version that's finally ready to live. So don't be afraid if you're craving stillness, if your heart is guiding you away from surface-level connections and pulling you towards something deeper, more sacred, more real. It's because your path is no longer about walking alone through a world that doesn't see you. It's about finding the ones who do, the ones who feel like home, the ones whose journey is mysteriously aligned with yours. Even if your stories are different, your souls are resonating in the same key. This moment is about transformation. Yes, but it's also about togetherness. Not the kind built on codependency or fear, but the kind rooted in awakened truth, in mutual recognition, in soul-level connection. And this energy, born from the meeting of Jupiter and the nodes, is helping you align with those destined companions. People, paths, or even places that reflect your deeper truth back to you. That's why everything may feel so strange right now. Have you noticed your body speaking to you more clearly? Maybe you've been feeling pulled away from crowded spaces or craving quiet. Maybe social media feels noisy and old conversations don't land the way they used to. Or perhaps it's something deeper, a kind of inner boredom, a hollow feeling, like what once excited you just doesn't anymore. That's not burnout. That's awakening. That's your spirit telling you, the old world can no longer hold the new you. You're being emptied out, not as punishment, but as preparation, so that you can receive what's truly meant for you. Because when Jupiter touches the North Node, something sacred happens. A higher road becomes visible. The fog begins to lift. You may not see the whole path, but you'll start feeling the direction. You'll begin making choices that feel more intuitive, more resonant, even if they don't make sense on paper. And that's exactly the point. This new journey isn't logical, it's spiritual. You're not just stepping into a new chapter, you're stepping into a new way of being, of walking, of connecting. And here's the most beautiful part. You're not doing it alone. There are others walking this path with you, right now. Maybe they're people already in your life who are waking up alongside you. Or maybe they're new souls, arriving soon. Either way, this energy is weaving invisible threads between you and others who are resonating with this new frequency. That's what makes this moment so rare. We're not just being called inward, we're being called forward, together. So if you've been feeling both isolated and deeply connected, restless yet aligned, strange but clear, that's exactly right. You're feeling the tension between the old world dissolving and the new world forming. And this tension is sacred. It's birth energy. It's transformation in motion. In this video, we're going to go deeper. We'll look at what this alignment actually means for your spiritual evolution. We'll explore what was seeded in 1989, a year of global shifts and inner awakenings, and how those echoes are coming back around now. We'll also talk about the choices that lie ahead and how to recognize the ones that align with your higher timeline. And by the end, I'll share 3 golden insights, truths that can only be fully received by those who are open, present, and willing to walk this path with heart. Because this moment isn't just a fleeting cosmic alignment, it's a doorway, a beginning, a rare chance to rewrite your relationship with destiny, not just individually, but collectively. But first, I'd love for you to do 3 small things that help this energy ripple outward. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop the number 777 in the comments. That number is a powerful spiritual symbol, a divine confirmation that you're on the right path. Sharing it isn't just symbolic, it's an energetic anchor, a way to hold space not just for your own journey, but for the journeys of others. If someone you love is on the edge of their awakening, send this to them. Walk with them. Let them know they're not alone. Now take a deep breath, tune in, and feel this. Your life is changing, not because you forced it to, not because you chased it, but because it's time. Your soul is rising, and everything that's falling away is part of the old story. You don't need to cling to what no longer resonates. You don't need to explain your path to those who don't understand. You are not here to be understood by everyone, only to be recognized by the ones who matter. The veil is lifting, the world is changing, and you are being called not just to rise, but to walk alongside others who are rising too. So listen to that quiet voice inside. Feel the pull, honor the shifts, trust the solitude, even when it feels heavy. Because in that sacred space, something magical is happening. Your soul is finding its way, and others, kindred souls, soulmates, soul family, are being drawn to that light within you. Your interactions may feel heavier lately, not just in what's being said, but in what's being felt. The air between people carries more weight, more charge, as if every glance, every silence, and every unspoken word is vibrating with energy. And maybe you've started to notice that it's not always your energy you're carrying. Some of the heaviness you feel might not even be your own. These aren't just emotions passing through. They're quiet transmissions from the energy fields around you. Subtle, yet powerful. Thoughts that don't feel like yours may be drifting into your mind. Feelings of unease, anxiety, even sadness might rise seemingly from nowhere. You might feel tired after being around others, even if nothing particularly intense happened. It's like the emotional residue of those around you is soaking into your own energy field. In crowds, instead of feeling the buzz of connection, you feel more alone. You might find yourself retreating inward, not because you're trying to shut the world out, but because your inner self is overwhelmed. It's as if the more people you're surrounded by, the more distant you become, not just from them, but from yourself. But please know this. This isn't a breakdown. This is a breakthrough. What you're experiencing is the beginning of a deep, energetic purification. Your body, your mind, your soul, they're all working together right now to clear out what no longer belongs to you. And this process, while quiet and invisible to the outside world, is incredibly powerful. It's not about cutting people out of your life. It's about clearing the space within you. It's about releasing the energetic clutter that's been weighing you down so you can hear your own voice again, and maybe even hear the voice of someone else walking this path beside you, someone whose energy doesn't drain you but uplifts you. Because as you peel back the layers of noise, confusion, and external pressure, you begin to feel something sacred awakening within you. This isn't loneliness, it's spaciousness. It's not isolation, it's alignment. And while there are parts of this journey you have to walk alone, it doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. Sometimes we withdraw not to shut others out, but to find the ones we're meant to walk with. To find those who understand the language of silence, the beauty of stillness, and the power of shared presence without words. Right now, your soul is choosing silence, not as an escape, but as a path home. This confusion you're feeling, the mixed emotions, the inner friction, the need to pull away, it's all part of a bigger process. It's your energy recalibrating. It's your spirit saying, something doesn't fit anymore. Maybe you've outgrown the roles you've been playing, the environments you've adapted to, or the versions of yourself you had to become in order to belong. And as you let go of those outdated attachments, as you stop clinging to beliefs that once gave you a false sense of safety, you begin to find clarity. Real clarity. The kind that comes from within, not from someone else's approval or validation. Now is the time to really listen, not to the noise of the world or the opinions around you, but to the subtle, sacred whispers rising from within. Your intuition is speaking more clearly now, not always in words, but in sensations, in signs, in the quiet knowing that lives deep in your chest. You may be called to spend more time alone, to step back from the constant stimulation of social media, from overwhelming environments, even from people you love. Not because you don't care, but because your energy is tender. It's sensitive. It needs space to breathe. But here's the beautiful part. You don't have to go into this alone. Yes, solitude is necessary. Yes, retreat is sacred. But you're not the only one feeling this way. Others are waking up too. Others are questioning, pausing, stepping back. And though their journeys look different on the outside, the inner calling is the same: to return to truth, to self, to soul. So as you walk this path inward, keep your heart open to those who are walking beside you, even if you don't see them right away. Because while your journey is deeply personal, it's also collective. We're all shedding layers right now. We're all learning how to hold space for ourselves without losing the capacity to hold space for others. You don't have to carry everyone else's emotions anymore. You don't have to be available for every thought, every opinion, every energetic pull. You get to choose what enters your field. You get to set boundaries, not as walls, but as gates of discernment. Your soul is no longer interested in being stretched thin. It's craving depth, authenticity, and sacred connection, not just with others, but with you. And still, even as you pull inward, remember this: you're not abandoning the world. You're preparing to meet it from a deeper place, a place of wholeness, a place of power, a place of quiet, steady knowing. This is not about separation. It's about sacred alignment. It's about going together, not in a crowded rush, but in a quiet resonance with those who are meant to walk beside you. Those who get it, who feel what you feel, who speak in the same soul language, even if no words are exchanged. This is your invitation to protect your energy like never before. Be mindful of the spaces you enter. Pay attention to how you feel after being with certain people. Notice the thoughts that rise after scrolling through your feed. Your energy is absorbing more than ever right now, and it's also becoming more refined. That means you're more sensitive, but also more powerful. You're starting to feel what's real and what's not. You're beginning to see through the illusions, the noise, the roles, and the performances. And that can be disorienting, but it's also liberating. The heaviness you've been feeling, it's not just yours. It's the weight of the collective, the grief of the world, the fear and uncertainty that others don't know how to process. And somewhere along the way, you started holding it, out of empathy, out of habit, out of love. But you're not meant to carry it all, not anymore. You're meant to feel it, honor it, and then let it pass through you, like wind through open windows. So take the time you need. Rest more. Breathe deeper. Let silence be your sanctuary. Let stillness be your medicine. And know that you're not disappearing. You're returning. You're coming home to yourself in a way you never have before. And as you do, you'll begin to feel the soft presence of others doing the same. Quiet souls, kindred hearts, walking their own path but somehow moving in the same direction. Together. This is what going together really means. Not clinging to each other out of fear, but walking side by side in freedom, in presence, in truth. Not fixing each other, but witnessing each other. Not rushing ahead, but honoring the pace of healing and transformation. So don't fear the distance that's forming. Don't resist the solitude. Let it do its sacred work. Let it peel back what's no longer real. Let it reintroduce you to the quiet strength that's been waiting inside you all along. And when you're ready, when your energy feels clearer, your heart feels lighter, and your soul feels steadier, you'll look around and notice you're not alone. Others will be there too, not demanding your attention, but holding space beside you. Not trying to fill the silence, but honoring it with you. That's the kind of connection that's being born now. Not loud, not forced, but soul deep and quietly enduring. So trust this path. Trust the pull inward. Trust the journey. And trust that as you return to yourself, you're also moving closer to those who are meant to walk this sacred road with you. Choosing silence. Walking together. Understand this. Choosing silence doesn't mean you're choosing loneliness. It means you're choosing to meet yourself, truly, fully, deeply. It's not about cutting the world out. It's about inviting yourself in. Silence is not the absence of connection. It's the space where real connection begins. It's where the noise fades and the truth gets a chance to speak. When you step away from the outside chaos, it's not because you don't care. It's because you care enough to pause, to listen, to return to the rhythm of your own heartbeat. The world pulls at you in so many directions, but in this sacred silence, you come into harmony with your inner world. You find your ground. You remember who you are, not as a reaction to others, but as a presence in your own right. This isn't isolation, it's communion with your truth, your spirit, your deeper knowing. And what's more, you're not the only one feeling this way. You're not walking this quiet path alone. Across the world, there are others, souls like yours, also stepping back, also tuning in, also listening for the voice beneath the noise. Some you may know, some you may never meet. But still, you walk together, silently aligned. If you've been feeling that gentle urge to withdraw, that subtle tug towards solitude, even if you can't quite explain it, please know it's not random. It's not just a mood or a phase. This inner longing is part of something bigger. The universe has been whispering to you, and you've been hearing it, even if just barely, through the static. The noise of the outside world has grown too loud. Endless demands, constant updates, everyone always needing something, always talking. And your spirit, tender and wise, is gently asking you to pause. You're not meant to be on all the time. You're not built to be endlessly reachable. You're here for depth, not just motion. And right now, the cosmos is supporting that need to turn inward. Jupiter's movement, especially as it dances with Gemini's quicksilver mind and Pisces' dreamy heart, is opening a new portal of reflection. These energies together create a unique tension, one that draws your awareness inward, not to escape, but to remember, to reconnect, to release. This is a sacred moment, one where you're being invited not to do more, but to be more present, to feel, to observe, to rest. The world will keep spinning, but your soul needs stillness to recalibrate, to sift through what's yours and what isn't. Because lately, it's been hard to tell the difference. Maybe you've noticed strange thoughts swirling in your mind, worries that don't feel like your own, emotions that seem to come out of nowhere. Maybe your energy has felt hijacked, like you're absorbing something heavy from the people or spaces around you. That's not your imagination. With Jupiter and Gemini, the energetic channels between minds are wide open. It's easier now to pick up on others' stress, their confusion, their internal storms. But those anxious voices, those chaotic feelings, they're not your truth. They're echoes, residue. And the more sensitive you are, the more you feel them. That's not a flaw. It's a gift. But even the most open heart needs boundaries. You don't have to carry what was never yours. You don't have to invite in every passing wave. This is why stillness matters now more than ever. In the silence, you get to clear the noise. You get to tune out the false frequencies and find your own song again. And the song of your soul, it's soft but strong, quiet but certain. You won't hear it while you're caught in the current of everyone else's chaos. You hear it when you return to yourself. You don't need to explain this need for quiet to anyone. You don't need permission to pause. And if you're tired of pretending, if your smile feels hollow or your energy feels spent, let that be enough. You've done your best to keep going, to keep showing up, even when you felt disconnected from your own spirit. That's not weakness. That's resilience. But now your body, your soul, your nervous system, they're asking for something different, something softer, something true. Maybe you've noticed it in the tightness in your chest, the clench in your jaw, the ache behind your eyes. These aren't just physical symptoms. They're messages. They're your inner self saying, "Come home. Let go. Stop carrying so much. You don't have to wear the mask anymore. You don't have to perform. You don't have to meet the world's expectations while silencing your soul's needs." The tension you feel isn't random. It's the dissonance between who you really are and what you've been pretending to be for the sake of acceptance, approval, or survival. But here's the beauty. You don't have to navigate this all alone. There are others, quiet lights in the distance, who are also peeling away the layers, also stepping into their own stillness. You may not see them, but their presence exists like a soft heartbeat beneath the surface of the world. We're walking this together, not in crowds, but in sacred solitude that recognizes the shared path. We're like stars scattered across a dark sky, each of us shining alone, yet part of the same constellation. So let yourself rest. Let the expectations fall away. Let the silence hold you for a while. You don't need to rush. You don't need to figure everything out. What you need is already unfolding inside you, in that soft place where presence lives, in that gentle space where you remember that healing isn't always loud and growth doesn't always shout. You are not broken. You are becoming. This quiet stretch of your journey is not a detour. It's a sacred turning point. It's where clarity is born. It's where you learn the difference between the noise of the world and the whisper of your intuition, between someone else's dream and your own. And if you feel a little lost, a little far from who you were or who you thought you should be, that's okay. You're just shedding. You're just recalibrating. And even in this space of solitude, you're never truly alone. Because even in silence, there are those of us who are walking quietly beside you. Not speaking, not pulling, just holding space. Just walking with you in spirit, with hearts open and minds still. Together, we're learning to slow down, to breathe, to listen again. We're walking side by side in the unseen, finding new ways to feel connected. Not through noise or performance, but through presence, through truth, through quiet companionship. So if you've been longing for silence, give yourself permission to go there. And know that as you do, others are meeting you in that same space. No pressure, no demands, just presence, just love, just the quiet magic of going inward, together. This pull is aligned with something bigger. Right now, Jupiter is bending toward the North Node in Pisces, creating a cosmic message that says your true guidance doesn't come from outside approval or collective noise. It comes from within. It's only when you make space for solitude that the fog begins to lift. When you distance yourself from all the external chatter, your thoughts begin to clear. Your intuition begins to speak louder than confusion. In that quiet space, a realization may come through, sudden, clear, and deeply personal. Maybe it's a sentence that lands in your mind out of nowhere. Maybe a face from the past floats into your awareness. Maybe you feel the urge to change something, to take a step, or simply to sit still and let the world pass by. These moments aren't random. They are sacred gifts brought to you by Jupiter's current placement, a cosmic offering of clarity and direction. But this kind of clarity doesn't arrive in a crowded room. It doesn't come when your phone is buzzing, or when you're trying to force yourself into a conversation that drains you. It's not found in the meetings that feel misaligned, or in the noise that pulls you away from yourself. It arrives when you step out of all of that, when you let go of what's expected and listen for the whispers instead of the shouts. Jupiter is teaching you how to tune in more deeply, not to the world outside, but to the one within. It's a time to listen, to notice, to step back. And so if you suddenly find yourself hesitating to smile, if the words you were about to say get swallowed back down, understand that this isn't resistance for the sake of resistance. It's your body asking for something real, not performance, not pretense, just truth. This current energy carries a paradox. On one side, Jupiter expands everything it touches, and Gemini's energy moves fast, always seeking more. But the North Node in Pisces is steering you in the opposite direction, deeper into your own spirit. The result is an inner tension, like being pulled by two forces at once. And it's your body that holds that tension. It's tired of pretending, tired of playing along. What feels like discomfort or resistance on the surface is actually a sacred signal, a reminder that you're being invited to rediscover your own boundaries. So if in the next few days, you suddenly feel a strong urge to leave a social situation, to pull away, to find quiet, don't dismiss it. Don't tell yourself you're being antisocial or overly sensitive. That urge is your intuition trying to break through. It's the quiet voice of your soul offering you a way out, not as an escape, but as a path to your own alignment. The world around you might try to keep you in the mix. People might question why you left early, or why you didn't stay and engage more. But you don't need to explain yourself. When you feel that internal nudge to go, trust it. That message isn't random. It's vital. It's not just a feeling. It's guidance. And when you hear that inner message, don't wait. Don't try to wrap things up nicely. Don't delay by thinking about how to leave politely. Just go. Let that small, clear voice lead the way. Even if your mind can't yet fully understand what's happening, your body does. It already knows the path. And as you follow it, you'll begin to take on a new role. Not as someone who has to speak or prove anything, but as someone who simply observes, present yet quiet. There, but not trying. This is a sacred kind of retreat, a spiritual one, rooted in the energy of Jupiter and Gemini. Yet this journey inward doesn't mean walking alone. There's a powerful invitation here about going together, about shared steps on the path to deeper truth. Sometimes the soul's quiet call finds a companion, a kindred spirit who also hears the whispers beneath the noise. Together, you can honor the need for stillness, creating a sacred space where both your energies rest and expand. This alignment doesn't ask you to isolate yourself, but to build connections that honor your need for truth and depth. When you find those who resonate with your quiet knowing, the journey inward becomes richer, fuller, and more supported. It's about walking side by side, sometimes in silence, sometimes in soft conversation, both honoring your inner calls while moving in mutual understanding. As this shift deepens, you'll find yourself drawn more to perception than to speech. The need to talk will fall away because your inner awareness becomes so precise, so alert, that silence says everything. It's not about disconnecting from life. It's about connecting in a deeper way. You'll begin to notice more, feel more, understand more with less effort. You won't have to explain yourself. You'll simply know. And that knowing will shine through your stillness. Jupiter's influence here is not about conventional growth. It's not about adding more to your life. Instead, it's about refining your focus and expanding inward. Paired with the fast, branching energy of Gemini, it doesn't overwhelm you with more information. It invites you to pause, to filter, to seek the space between the noise. Those spaces, those quiet moments, are where your real transformation lies. That's where the energy for genuine growth and progress lives, not in the constant input, but in the conscious stillness between it all. There's also a deeper layer at play. This energy of Jupiter is reshaping the spiritual path of the North Node in Pisces. The deeply emotional, mystical side of Pisces is facing off with Gemini's sharp intellect and quick mind. This tension might stir restlessness in you. You may feel overstimulated mentally, but at the same time, your spirit is crying out for stillness, for quiet, for a place to land and breathe. The inner restlessness and the noise around you will eventually push you toward true rest, not just physical, but spiritual and emotional as well. And as you walk this path, whether in solitude or together, remember that every step inward is also a step toward deeper connection with yourself and with those who honor your journey. The true magic lies not in rushing ahead or forcing answers, but in moving gently, intentionally, with an open heart that listens for the quiet call, knowing that sometimes going together makes the path easier to travel. During this period, you may notice that the constant stream of outside information, the conversations, the opinions, the endless scroll, feels like too much. And that's okay. It's not a sign that you're falling behind or becoming distant from others. It's a sign that you're being called inward, that your soul is ready for a new kind of growth, one that doesn't come from doing more, but from listening more deeply. The guidance you need isn't out there in the world shouting at you. It's already within you, waiting to be heard in the silence. So trust that pull. Trust your body when it says enough. Trust your soul when it quietly whispers, "This way." Let the noise fall away. Let yourself be alone without feeling lonely. Let the silence guide you. That is where your clarity is. That is where your truth begins to speak. You'll begin to sense things that others don't say out loud. It's as if you can hear the truth behind the words, the silent intentions that linger between the lines. And instead of drawing you closer to the constant noise, this heightened awareness will gently guide you away from it. The power you seek won't be found in words anymore, but in silence, in stillness, and in the careful attention you give to what truly matters. The voices around you might try to hold you back. The crowd might roar, trying to pull you in, urging you to engage, to speak, to stay involved. But deep inside, another voice, the quieter one, will be calling you elsewhere. That call isn't about running away or shutting others out. It's about evolving. It's a conscious choice to step back from the chaos so you can meet yourself in your truest form. And in this quiet place, you may realize something even more profound, that going inward doesn't mean going alone. Sometimes the journey inward is where we find the deepest connection, not only with ourselves, but with others who are also listening, also feeling, also unfolding. There's a shared rhythm in this kind of stillness, a sense that even as you walk your path, you are not truly separate. We move together, soul to soul, in silent companionship. Normally, Jupiter's energy encourages you to grow outwardly, to explore far and wide, to expand through the world around you. But now, with Jupiter in Gemini, something shifts. This expansion becomes more internal. It turns into a journey through the layers of your own mind and spirit. Instead of chasing knowledge outside of you, you begin to discover the wisdom you've carried within all along. While everything around you might seem loud, busy, or overwhelming, what matters most now is your own energy. The only real goal becomes keeping your vibration steady and raising it through inner alignment. At the same time, the North Node in Pisces quietly reminds you of your deeper truths, compassion, surrender, and the invisible threads that connect us all. Yet Jupiter in Gemini adds a certain speed and sharpness to this path. You're being guided toward a clearer understanding, one that rises above emotional noise and speaks to the pure essence of knowledge. It's in this space that your spirit and your intellect begin to move together, like dance partners learning to follow the same rhythm. And while this transformation is unfolding, the greatest power you can harness comes from silence. Not the kind of silence that's empty or lonely, but the kind that allows you to truly observe both the world around you and the world within you. This kind of observing isn't just about watching what's happening. It's about learning to hear the different tones of your own inner voice. It's how you build a bridge between your emotions and your thoughts. And once you do, something beautiful happens. Even if you're physically alone, you won't feel lonely. Instead, you'll feel deeply connected, as if you've tapped into something sacred and unshakable. You might even sense the presence of others on their own journeys, moving alongside you in spirit, like walking side by side on a quiet path, each step aligned even when words aren't needed. This is where your energy starts to come alive. You feel yourself flowing with the universe rather than resisting it. Because the truth is, no matter how chaotic the world gets, there's always a quiet, infinite sea of peace and wisdom inside you. When you reach that place, mental noise dissolves and clarity emerges. Here, words can't do much, because this is where feeling and intuition take over, and they speak just to you. At this point, all those outside expectations, what you should be doing, who you should be for others, what you should be saying, start to fade. They simply don't carry the same weight anymore. Your own guidance system becomes louder and clearer, not through force, but through presence. This moment isn't just about expanding your mind. It's about allowing your soul to take the lead, to write its own map. And as you walk that path, remember, you don't have to walk it alone. Even in silence, even in stillness, the invisible threads of connection weave through your life, gently carrying you forward, together with those who are also learning to listen. Jupiter in Gemini opens mental gateways wide. Information rushes in like a rushing river. Ideas scatter like stars across the night sky. But here's the truth. You don't have to rush to figure it all out. This isn't about grasping everything at once. It's about experiencing it first, letting life speak to you in real time, and trusting that understanding will follow, slowly and surely. Wisdom doesn't shout. It unfolds gently, like a quiet sunrise. As you move through your days, especially in social settings, you might notice yourself speaking less and listening more. But this listening isn't just about hearing words. It's about tuning into the energy behind those words. This quiet discernment becomes your greatest protection, shielding your mind and heart from what drains or confuses you. If you suddenly feel the urge to pull back, to create space from others, that's okay. Don't resist that instinct. It's your body and spirit asking for a pause, a moment to realign and recharge. You might still be physically present, but the need to fill every silence with chatter will fade. That stillness becomes part of your evolution, and within that stillness lies strength. Real wisdom, the kind that lasts, doesn't always come through language. Often it's found in quiet moments, deep breaths, and calm knowing beneath everything else. So slow down. Breathe deeply. Reconnect with that powerful stillness inside you. But here's something even more beautiful. This isn't a path you walk alone. Jupiter's energy invites you to move forward, not just mentally or spiritually, but together. The universe isn't a distant observer. It's right there beside you, walking with you, guiding you in unison. Sometimes the most profound communication happens not through words, but in shared silence, mutual understanding, and collective presence. This week, you may feel these cosmic shifts more intensely than usual. That's no accident. What's happening in the skies is stirring something deep inside you. The days ahead are a precious opportunity to move through this time with awareness, presence, and intention. Together with those who share your journey, whether seen or unseen. For those who've stayed with this message, here's a deeper reflection grounded in timeless wisdom from voices like Pam Gregory and Joni Patry. They remind us that Jupiter in Gemini amplifies mental energy, while the North Node in Pisces gently calls us toward our spiritual path. It's not just your logic that should lead you now. Your intuition is a trusted guide too. When your thoughts scatter or feel overwhelming, listen closely to your heart. Ancient teachings describe this inner dance between mind and soul as the sacred balance between intellect and divine guidance. It's a dance meant to be shared, reminding us that growth happens best when we move forward, not only individually, but in harmony with others. There's one more thing to watch: your words. Gemini rules communication, and Jupiter magnifies everything it touches, including your speech. Each sentence you speak ripples outward in ways you might not immediately see. This is why intentionality with your words matters so deeply. In ancient wisdom, this is called the alchemy of language, transforming what you say by first purifying what you feel and believe. Speak with clarity and kindness. Let your words reflect truth, but soften them with grace. And remember, when you speak and listen with this intention, you create a shared space where understanding grows between you and others, where you truly go forward, together. This is also a time to reconnect with the art of surrender. The North Node in Pisces reminds us that we don't have to have all the answers. Not everything in life needs to be analyzed or figured out. Some things are meant to be felt, not solved. Some doors only open when we stop trying to control what happens next. Trust the process. When your mind doesn't have the solution, your soul already knows the way. This isn't just an astrological lesson. It's a spiritual one that mystics across time have echoed. Let go, trust the flow, breathe, and remember, we don't have to do this alone. There is a shared current beneath the surface, a knowing that when we surrender together, our paths become clearer and the weight feels lighter. This week feels like a crossing, a delicate bridge between quick thoughts and deep inner knowing. Jupiter in Gemini is pulling our minds toward conversation, learning, ideas, and fast-moving thoughts. But at the same time, the North Node in Pisces is inviting us into stillness, into surrender, into something quieter, but far more profound. And it's right where these two energies meet that real transformation happens. Moments like these are seen in ancient teachings as sacred turning points in the journey of the soul. The most important thing you can do now is to pay close attention, not just to what's happening outside of you, but to what's moving within. The sky above always reflects something about the world within. This is a time to honor your inner universe. Make room for intuition alongside reason. Carry knowledge, yes, but also let it grow into wisdom. As communication and mental energy become more intense, let your intentions be as clear as your thoughts. Feed your mind with what inspires, but don't forget to nourish your heart too. Everything you say holds energy, and so does everything you don't. Silence too has power. Every word, every pause, every sentence you form is a vibration. And it's your responsibility to keep that vibration clean, clear, and aligned with the truth of who you are. In that awareness, we begin to see just how sacred our communication really is. And maybe most of all, this is a time to release your grip on control. Life is opening doors, showing new paths, but you'll only see them when you're not trying to force your way forward. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is pause. Other times, it's to change direction. And sometimes, it's simply to wait, without doing anything at all. Pisces carries this wisdom. It teaches us how to move like water, fluid, present, unattached. The transformations you've been waiting for don't always arrive with fanfare. Often, they come in silence, slipping gently into your life while you weren't looking. And here's the beautiful part. This path isn't meant to be walked in isolation. We are in this together, connected by the same currents of change and surrender. When we release control side by side, when we lean into the mystery together, our journeys intertwine and support one another's unfolding. Sometimes, simply knowing someone else is moving through the same waters with you can give you the courage to keep going. The sky is always speaking, but this week, it feels like a whisper, a deep, soul-level message. And if you truly listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart, you'll hear something far more intimate than astrology. You'll hear the voice of your own soul calling you home. This moment isn't just about planets or signs. It's a sacred remembering, a quiet return to your true self. And in that remembering, everything shifts. If this message resonates with you, I invite you now to write "I choose peace" in the comments below. These are not just words. It's a conscious invitation for healing, for clarity, for grace to enter your life. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. If you feel this message could support someone else's path, send it their way. Let the light ripple outwards. Until next time, take care and keep choosing peace. And remember, we go through it all together.